School justice partnerships are critical in our providing equal opportunities for all of our young people. Article 1, Section 15 of our state constitution guarantees the right to the privilege of an education, and Article 9, Section 1 reminds us that religion, morality, and knowledge are necessary to good government and the happiness of our citizens. Therefore, the means of education are to be encouraged.
School Justice Partnership is a community coming together to work together to find ways to address student misbehavior, childhood misbehavior, teenage misbehavior in a positive disciplinary way to prevent removing that child from school.
Evidence shows that children who are involved in the court system are much more likely to drop out of high school and also to be in prison as an adult. So we're trying to stop that. At that time, when you were 16, you were and charged with something, you were in adult criminal court. So we were seeing a lot of kids that had minor offenses that they were being charged with at school who were ending up in that court.
We wanted to make our schools safer. We recognize that that the number of referrals coming to our courts out of schools were at an all-time high. We wanted to find a way to contribute to school safety.
What we saw in law enforcement was an increase of our school resource officers, and with that came a zero tolerance. We were committed to zero tolerance. So what unintentionally happened from that is we started really charging our kids with nonviolent charges that should have been handled by the schools in the first place.
Our philosophy is we have to keep the kids in school. The statistics show if they're suspended, if they're arrested, their chances of success diminishes. And it also takes a school liaison officer away from the school if you make a custodial arrest. And with the day and age that we're dealing with now, we want to keep as many officers as we can on or around school campuses. We do not want to pull them off of campus to have to go to the jail or have to go to court because of an arrest that they made that we could have dealt with in a different way.
Without really meaning to do it, the unintended consequence was that we put a lot of officers into schools, and things that were discipline issues, even 25 years ago, became criminal justice issues after that. That's what is referred to as the school to prison pipeline. And if you're serious about reserving prison cells for violent and career offenders, people who are really harming others, the vast majority of things on school campuses, disruptive behavior, even a phrase between two boys that might be fighting over the same girl and literally hugging it out 10 minutes later, it doesn't need to be in the courthouse.
While the courts have a responsibility to administer justice without favor, denial, or delay, often true justice can be administered to nonviolent youth by correcting their behavior without involvement in the juvenile justice system.
We implemented the School Justice Partnership in Lenoir County Public Schools in 2018 in response to concerns about the number of students who were excluded from learning because of out-of-school suspensions and the number of students who were involved with offenses in our schools and the impact that it was having instructionally. The results have been impressive. So over the last 7 years, our discipline numbers have fallen dramatically. Our 4-year cohort graduation rate has risen steadily during that same time to the highest rate that it's ever been. Student achievement has increased across the board in our school system. So we do see so many things moving forward, and we believe that the SJP is a part of it.
The first goal is not to send students or our children away. Anytime that you can have a relationship with the judicial system, it automatically improves. We begin to understand what our role is as educators, and then they begin to know what their role is as law enforcement. And so when we marry the two, it becomes harmonious. And so I will always say that it's great to have a partnership. However, we are the educators.
I do know that our dropout rates have gone down, aka our graduation rates have gone up, and our discipline referrals have also, to the court system have gone down because we have learned how to use internal resources and community resources to help our students. It's a win-win all the way around. because we won't have to, we'll see our kids in the classroom, we won't be having to come out of school and see them in the courtroom, you know, or in our jails and prisons. All the research shows that by doing these kinds of activities, keeping kids in school, it's like a rising tide raises all ships. It's good for the school, it's good for the district, it's good for the community.
I think it's had a ripple effect in finding other ways to deal with situations and recognizing that the first alternative should not be suspending a kid, but keeping that kid within the school itself. And I think we've had, greater attendance rates, number one. Graduation rates have definitely gone up as well. And I think there's a lot more satisfaction with our teachers as well as with our students because we're finding ways to show kids that we care.
So all of those metrics points on which we judge public schools are going in the right direction now. And it's hard to isolate out one thing and say it's the reason for this, but there's certainly a causal connection, and we believe that the SJP agreement is a big part of that. If students are not in school, then surely they're not learning. If they are in the classroom, we have an opportunity with that great high-quality teacher to inspire great high-quality learning. And that's what we're seeing, and it's very rewarding to see that.
What we're trying to do with the School Justice Partnership is keep the kids who have problems in a treatment model that will actually rehabilitate them and help them. Sometimes that's done at a courthouse. It's usually far more effectively handled at the schoolhouse. Our priority needs to be keeping kids in school and prioritizing violent and career criminals down at the courthouse.
And I think the benefit to this partnership is now it's focused on keeping kids in school and helping them succeed. And it also, at the end of the day, it makes the school safer because the officers are spending more time there on campus building relationships, safeguarding the school. And that's just very important for us in this day and age.
It has been a huge success, and I would highly recommend any law enforcement leader to join us in keeping our kids safe and holding them accountable, but not over accountable.
That we're winning. We are absolutely winning. Make it your priority as a superintendent to become a part.
Every kid can be successful, and this is just one of those partnerships that is just, I can't imagine where we'd be without it.
And I think some kids just want to be loved on and let someone know that, have someone show them that we really care about your situation as opposed to you being a problem child. No, you're a child that needs some love, some extra attention, some nurturing, and everything's going to be okay.
That I've been a judge for over 30 years. This is the most important work I've ever done in my life. Nothing else compares. Nothing else gives us the opportunity to impact so many children for good. When we can prevent kids from coming to court, when we can improve graduation rates, then we make things better for our kids and our community. Why wouldn't you want to do the work?